Hello and welcome back to another video, and today we have the second race I participated in the Gearup F-Series Esports Challenge, and this is on Gran Turismo Sport, and we are at Dragon Trail Gardens for this one, and we are in the number 55 Praga, and we qualified in 5th place, and this is the highlights of the race. So we're going to start here in 5th. We get a decent start. We have Wrencher 24 right there in 4th. Right in front of us, and we're going to go into turn 1, try to get the draft, as it was very important, as this lap was, my best guess, probably around 80% flat out. And we're going to come up into turn 1, and we are going to take a cautious approach into turn 1, and we actually end up clipping the curb there, and the real Mr. Lunt is going to go up our inside, and they're going to go 3 wide, and somebody's actually going to get shoved off there. So we're still in 5th here. We're actually up to 4th now, as we have Fusions right there in front of us, and we are gonna stick behind him, as he actually won the last one we raced at. So we are coming down into the hairpin now, into 3rd gear, actually get into the back of him just a little bit, and we do have the CRG of XX Glock 412 in front of us, and Fusions, and then the real Mr. Lunt is leading. So we're hanging out in 4th place here. So we're gonna come up into these corners. There's a little bit of a space behind us, but again, the boost is on, so that is going to keep everybody nice and close together throughout the whole race. So we're going to come into this corner, down into 5th gear, and then it is flat out through these sweeping right-handers. It's basically like 4 corners, and you got to hit them all to get a good run. So we got a good run now, and the problem is these things, the gear ratio, they top out at about 110, so you can't really get a run on anybody after you get up into your slipstream. So you got to make all your passing either early on the straight or through corners like that. And we're actually going to go up into 3rd place, and now up into 2nd as the real Mr. Lunt gets shoved off. And Fusions, we are going to get tagged up with him and just try to push him and see if we can build a bit of a lead. I know it's not really going to matter with the boost on, but any sort of lead helps, as now we're going to go into turn 1 this time, following behind Fusions. We're up into 2nd place here, and we are going to get on the brakes here. We're actually going to look to the inside for maybe a move. We're side by side. We are going to give him the space, and there's a bump right there which sucks. We get hit from behind, try to actually avoid the back out of him, and it is going to work, as you can see the offboard footage in the bottom right. But here we do have a run on Fusions, and we are going to go around the outside and see if we can get a move. But after we pull, we're pretty much even, and it just lets everybody else catch up behind. We're going to try the outside. We get shoved off just a bit, end up nearly going off track. We're going to fall down into 4th place here behind XK Glock 412 in the CRG. So now we are coming up through the S's for lap 2, and we are up into still in 4th place. And they get kind of bottled up through the S's. We touched the curb. The curbs were horrific if you got into them. It was basically like an auto crash if you got into the curbs, and Fusions and the Alienator actually get into each other, and they both go off. So we gain 2 and then lose 1 as the real Mr. Lunt comes through. So we are still hanging out in 3rd place. We take a peek behind us to see who's there. There's a bit of a space between us, between the next train, and the CRG is going to look to get the move done on this FA kart. We accidentally get into the back of him. The FA kart runs deep, and we are actually found ourselves into the lead here on lap 2 of this 20-lap race. So leading now, we do have a bit of a space behind us, nobody directly behind us giving us a push. 1:45.7 was our lap, and now we are going to skip ahead here to lap 3, and we make a mistake through the little tri-oval or the quad turn thing and just sawing at the wheel trying to save it. We eventually do, but we are going to lose several positions, as we're going to slot in line in 6th place behind the XX Glock K. So coming into here, they touch each other a bit. Oh, he's in the Intrepid, my bad. He's not in the CRG. DD2 Champion is in the CRG, and the car actually, the Mario Kart actually ends up going off, and those two guys touch each other, and there's going to be a wreck in front of us. We do just squeak by, so that is going to put us back up into 3rd place, and we're going to take a look at the offboard footage, and it basically, the car on the right is going to get on the curb up here, and that's just going to cause him to spin and end up taking out that Mario painted kart with him. So that is going to promote us up into 3rd place. So we're skipping ahead here onto lap 5, still running at the front in 4th place. We're going to come into this corner. There's a bit of contact there. Wrencher's going to go through to the lead, and the real Mr. Lunt's going to go off, and Wrencher is actually going to end up clipping a curb and coming off right in front of us. We really had nowhere to go, and that is going to cause us to lose several positions as we're going to fall back into 9th place. So still in 9th, and that was crazy as the CRG kart just went completely off the track and then launched itself back in front of us, as the curbs were basically like ramps for these karts. And there was a couple of them you could touch, but the other ones you could not. We're going to skip ahead here to lap 6, coming through the left-hander S's again, and we're going to do something very similar and get on that curb and put ourselves in the wall, and that is going to drop us down. So we're going to look at the off-board. Basically, we turn in a bit too early, run out of exit room, get on the curb, and it's just going to launch us into the wall, and we go spinning through the grass, and we are back onto the track. Skip ahead onto lap 7 here. We have caught back up. We have Fusions and the Intrepid, and they get a bit of a lag bubble and end up taking each other out, as it did not look like they hit each other on my screen, but the game thought they hit each other. So later on lap 7, still in 4th place, Wretcher's going to run deep. We're going to get the spot there. We're going to get the run on Skyline Drifts and put it up into 2nd. The real Mr. Lunt's going to go off, and that is going to kill his momentum down the straight. As you can see, we have the huge draft now. We're going to go to the inside, and that is going to put us back in the lead momentarily. But somebody's on our inside. Wrencher is going to go back into the lead, so we are in 2nd place now. We're looking to the inside, maybe try a move here, late on the brakes, and we are going to get it done. Now you hit the bump, just hope you don't spin the kart, and the real Mr. Lunt's going to come through, and we're just going to end up getting shoved off into the grass and have a big moment across the track and end up spinning. I don't think collecting anybody else, but we're going to take a look off board. We were in 2nd place. We tried to give him the space. We're going to go to the inside into turn 1, actually get the lead momentarily, but the FA car gets a way better run, and we're both going to make a bit of contact on the apex, and then we get shoved off, and then in the grass, really nothing you can do. You're just a passenger, and it throws us back in front of the track, but we end up not actually hitting anybody else, so that is all good. So lap 8 here, catching up again, and we're going to get taken out once again here on lap 8, as we're going to skip ahead here, and this kart is ghosting right now, but then it unghosts and he just turns in. I'm not sure how he was going to make the corner. I think he lost control, but that is going to take us out anyway. But with the boost on, it didn't take long to catch back up, as we here on lap 10 we have caught the back of the pack, and those two guys actually get into each other. I'm sorry for actually getting to the back of him. It was not intentional, but I really just had nowhere to go. And we're going to skip ahead here. We're still in 6th place, Nito in front of us, and we're going to get on the curb, and it's once again going to launch us into, it launches us straight into the grass, and that is going to be, I think, our 4th spin. We're going to take a look at the offboard here, and basically we did the exact same thing we did before. We got on the curb, and it just sent us into the grass, and then getting huge air over that red bump, and again, just trying to get it back onto the track. So we skip ahead 2 laps here onto lap 12, and we've caught back up. The guy in 4th is going to get launched straight in front of us, and we actually end up running into the back of him, and it's going to kill our momentum, and we are going to actually, we're still in the same position we were before, but we did lose 2 and then gain 2. But here, the very next lap here, on lap 13, we're going to come through the same corner, and again it's chaos. This time, all sorts of crap in front of us. Skyline Drifts gets pushed, and that is actually going to put us up into a spot where we can get a run and challenge for 3rd place. There was a bit of contact there made, and it is going to put us up into 3rd place here on lap 13, as now we are coming into the braking zone here and actually get tapped off wide, and we're going to have another incident. So that is, I think, our 4th or 5th one this race where we've been thrown into a wall. And it was coming down into the hairpin here, and we're on the Praga on the inside. He gets a tap from behind, and I guess we're just in the apex, and we go off over the curb and collect, I think, one other kart, but we are going to keep it going and fight our way back to the front. So with the boost, it took only really a lap to get back up, as we're up on lap 14 here, up into 4th place. The real Mr. Lunt in front of us, and there's going to be a bit of contact there between Skyline Drifts and the leader. DD2 Champion's going to get sent off to the left, and that is going to put us back up into 3rd place. Skyline Drifts and the real Mr. Lunt side by side. We're going to follow the real Mr. Lunt and see if we can actually... Are we going to look for the lead here? We are not. We are content sticking behind him under the brakes here. We get into the back of him on accident, and that is actually going to put us up in to the lead of the race momentarily, but he is going to get the better run, and we are going to let him back through, as we did feel a little bad for punting him off. But now coming into the sweeping right and then the left, which are flat out. When you're by yourself in a draft, sometimes you have to lift depending on how good of a run you actually get through the corner. Real Mr. Lunt is going to cut the corner, and that's going to not unsettle the kart a bit, and he's actually still in front, but we do have a bit of a run here coming up into the final corner. We have a great run. We're going to swing to the outside. Somebody's going to go to the inside. We're going to go 3 wide momentarily. It's the... and 3 wide through the last corner. We're going to get shoved off. Still in 2nd place. The Alienator 15 is going to come back through, and we're actually going to drop to 3rd as the real Mr. Lunt came back through. So we're going to skip ahead here on to lap 15 now, coming out of the left-hander, and the real Mr. Lunt's going to spin off to the left, causing us to be in 4th place. Skyline Drifts right there in front of us. Still, we're in 4th. Skyline Drifts is going to run off wide. He's going to get sucked off into that wall. That is going to put us up into 3rd. We have a pretty good run on Fusions, who's found his way back to the front here in the Alienator, or Wrencher 24. And we skip ahead here on to lap 16 now. We hit the bump. We're right behind Fusions, who's actually going to get a pretty bad run out of that corner as he went over the curb. And we are actually going to go to the lead, but it is going to... Wrencher's going to make it 3 wide, as you can see on the bottom. We're 3 wide for a brief moment, and then he gets turned in between us. Fusions gets a penalty for it, and we're going to fall into 2nd place here. And I'm not exactly sure whose fault that was, but it is going to cause Wrencher to actually be spun out, as I think we were both going straight, and then we both kind of hit a bump or something and got moved into each other. But here we are chasing down Fusions. He has 0.9 left on his penalty, which is not really a big deal in this one, as there's not... And he's going to kill it right there. He ungoes at an untimely time, but we are going to take the lead through these following right-handers. So here on lap 16, we have the lead. We are going to skip ahead to the end of lap 18. We stayed up front basically for the whole thing. We're coming down the hairpin on lap 18. Skyline Drifts has found his way back to the lead, and we're following him. We're going to get on the brakes a tad late and actually end up in the back of him. We felt kind of bad for it, but he is actually going to end up off the track, and that is going to put us back up into the lead. And it was not a very clean move, but it is going to put us up in the lead. Now here at the end of lap 18, we are going to come into these final couple of corners, and coming to 2 to go. Fusions is back up front with me, and we're going to come through still following Fusions. And for these final 2 laps, we are going to watch just the replay version and do a commentary over that. But right now we are in 2nd place. We have a kart on our inside. We're going to go to the replay here. It's 3 wide. Fusions in the lead. Wrencher on our outside. We're following Fusions. We're going to duck to the inside here, maybe look for a bit of a move. We're side by side going into turn 1. See what happens. We do have the inside line, which is going to become the outside, and we do slide through. We're going to go off the bump there and actually get a good run out of the corner, and that's going to keep the lead for us here with just a lap and a half to go. Fusions is right there. The last week's race winner is right there. He's giving us a bit of a push down the backstretch, trying to separate out. Wrencher's still in 3rd, and the Mario Kart in 4th is going to go to the inside. We actually don't have a great run through there, and Fusions is going to take the lead back from us. So now in 2nd place in the Praga, Wrencher has got to our bumper, so it's really a 3-kart fight now. We're right behind Fusions. Gonna look to the inside, then the outside, then the inside here. He's still in the lead. At this point in the race, we were just trying to really just hang out and just see if we can be in 2nd place on the last lap, because really all it matters is being up in the front. We're actually going to look to the outside here, make a bit of contact with Fusions. He turned in on us, but it is going to get us a run. You can see there's a lap kart in front of us we're catching up to Wrencher 24 right there in our draft. They're going to go side by side through the last corner. The lap cart is kind of there, but here we go through the last corner. There's a bit of contact. Wrencher actually gets shoved off, and the Intrepid is going to go through. We get a bit squirrely off the final corner. Oh no, that's the CRG. That's DD2 champion. Skyline Drifts is on our outside. We are coming up now with we're on the final lap now, and we're in 4th place at the moment. But going into turn 1, we have the inside line. We got inside of Skyline Drifts following DD2 champion right there. And the Mario Kart is actually still up front. We're going to dive to the inside here and actually make that move stick. And that's going to actually put us in a good position here, as we are in 2nd place coming off the corner, but we don't get the best run. We have multiple people. We're 3 wide right now with Skyline Drifts and the Mario Kart for the lead. Now Fusion's back in the lead, and Skyline Drifts is going to follow him through. It is a great battle coming into the hairpin. We get a bit of a tap from behind, and we're going to get shoved off wide, and that is going to drop us to, I think, 8th or 9th place on this final lap, but it is really a cluster and is still really anybody's race. We're following Wrencher now, who has found his way back up into the pack after being shoved off on the last corner. Coming through here, there's going to be contact, and there's karts spinning everywhere. That's going to be a couple karts spinning off the track. People go, and that's actually going to put us up into, I think, 4th place coming through this last couple corners. We do have the Intrepid right there. We're in 4th. We're following Fusions, I think, right now. Yeah, Fusions is in 3rd. The real Mr. Lunt is leading, but he has Retcher right there. They're going to come into the final 2 corners of the race, getting on the brakes, and you can see us. We're coming through, and the real Mr. Lunt got shoved out. He's going to get shoved off onto the grass once again from the lead to a not great result, and we're going to come across the line and finish in 3rd place. Wrencher 224 is going to win the race, followed by Fusions and then us. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment below what kind of content you'd like to see on the channel. This video was fun to make, and it's a shout out to the F-Series for having an esports event during this pandemic time. I'll see you guys next time.